I had to try a whole lot of different side hustles before I found one. So I had to have the discipline to keep trying different things because I could have easily just thought, and it's not in the cards. So it took a lot of discipline, but now it takes a lot of creativity to keep coming up with different things.
Welcome to Created Creative. I'm Dawn.
And I'm Ruth.
It is such a victory to be here.
You've traveled many miles since I saw you last.
I've been on a road trip.
I'm so glad to see that you survived it and you are back.
And having a rental car, it ends at a time and then they charge you.
Yeah.
We made it and there were 47,000 variables.
Yeah.
And then, as you do on a road trip, you accumulate things. And I didn't really know if everything would fit because we still had to walk from the rental car place home. So everything needs to fit in one trip. There's no like running in and out from the garage 6 times.
Right. Yeah.
To unload your car.
How did that go then?
I made it and I took a photo and I'm very proud of myself.
I want to see the photo.
Also, it was like the most New York. It's a huge city with huge systems, but then it always comes down to talking to the guy. Like the road was closed. The rental car place is on a side street in a parking garage, and across the street they are building some huge building, and it's a one-way street. And I got to the end that the phone told me I should be on, and I see a car coming toward me. So I'm like, oh, wrong side. Go to the other side, cement truck. So then I go to the first side again and go to where you're not allowed to park by a fire hydrant. Total traffic. You know, Brooklyn. And then I like get out in the lane in between the light, and I have a toddler in the car, and I'm like yelling over to them, like, how do you return the rental car? And they're like, oh, we'll let you in. So then they get their person with the stop sign to move the cones and to stop traffic, and I back up. But like, how was I ever supposed to know? There was no sign. Right. There was nothing in the confirmation email. If I had never asked the construction guy that was taking a break on the opposite corner,
you'd still be driving around.
And it was due.
Yeah, that's so stressful.
That's what happened last week, too. Picking up a chair from Crate and Barrel. It's a national company with systems. And you can text and say, I'm 10 minutes away. I'm 5 minutes away. I don't know if they do this everywhere, just because you can't leave your car. They don't have a parking lot.
Yeah.
So you pull up, and I'm like, I told them we're here. No one comes out. They say they'll come out. Like the salesperson had said they'd come out. So then there's a phone number. I call the phone number. No one answers. Luckily, my mom was with me and could stay in the car with Lucy and be there in case the police came to move the car.
Exactly.
And I go in the loading dock and the UPS guy is leaving. And he's like, oh, you need to hit this buzzer and then go 2 doors down and knock on it. Inside the loading dock.
That just seems terribly inconvenient.
He was super nice. I like, wait, and I knock, and the guy just walks up. He's like, can I help you? And I'm like, you have no idea. I've told Crate and Barrel twice, and I tried to call. And this is the day I'm supposed to get it, like an appointment. And it was absolute news to the guy in the loading dock.
Crazy.
But you talk to these worker people. That's the only way to get these kinds of things done.
Right. Very stressful. Had you rented the car then, or was that a different car?
To get the chair.
Okay, you had rented the car to get the chair, and then you just held on to it for your trip?
The delivery is $149, so the car was only $300. Getting the car is worth the chair.
Yeah. So what a journey. And then you drove down. Tell me about your trip.
We went to Nashville for a meeting with my publicist. She's just about amplifying women's voices in whatever way possible.
Awesome.
Yes. She handled Jen Hatmaker, switching from evangelical Christian to more mainstream. Anyway, one of my coaching clients was being the morning meditation person because she's a Lutheran pastor and a subscriber of the ConseCrate.
I saw that she was there. That's cool.
So she gave me a shout out from the stage.
Oh, yay. Awesome.
We also went to a country music festival that just was on the street.
Fun.
And then I brought my mom to the airport in Nashville and met a business buddy from a whole different scenario. And then I went to Church Basement Ladies in Indianapolis.
You made it over there. Good.
I did that. Yeah. It was fun. It's just a very small world of people who do that show. And so I know them well. I've known them since 2012. 2 of them, but most of the others for a very long time. And one of them is part of my dinner party. My supper club is You're Getting Started.
Supper club. Yes. And then did you drive all the way back then from Indianapolis?
Could have, and I felt fine. And it felt irresponsible to get here at 3 a.m. with a toddler. But I felt fine. I'm very, very much a night person. And also there was a really big storm. So it was slowing me down.
Yeah.
So I stopped. A friend of mine was on the phone and she found a Hampton Inn route in Harrisburg. I only stay at Hampton Inns. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. Good to know.
Whoever they studied for market research is exactly like me.
Okay.
For the Hampton Inn.
Why do you say that?
It has the free breakfast, not just carbs. They're so polite. I will always pay extra for a company that trains in customer service. Beside the front desk, there is a little convenience store, and it has food that I eat, and it has Diet Coke. They have the microwave and fridge in the room.
Okay.
I always have a couple of rooms with bathtubs, and most places are tearing out bathtubs and putting in just showers.
Yeah. Okay.
So and it's not crazy expensive.
So it has all the main things you're looking for. Well,
and I've not found another chain that has that.
It sounds like it was a really good trip, although I bet you're tired of being in the car.
It's just, even though you leave in plenty of time, I felt significantly worse leaving this morning than I did at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And so getting up and going this morning and then just keeping the eye on the clock. And then as you get into different traffic, it's getting closer and closer to the time that the car is due, and not taking her out at the gas station and just being like, we're getting gas and going. Yes.
Yeah.
I live in a walkable city, and I was thinking about that when I was in Indianapolis. I was in Zionsville, which the downtown is super cute and walkable, but we were further away. There was no sidewalk. There was nowhere to go unless we got in the car. Like, I just feel so isolated, and it feels inhuman to me just because of my point of view.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Like, it's so nice to be able to walk wherever you want to go if you can. Like, my town is that way. But like when I stay in hotels that are those little areas close to airports and highways, and if you want to just go out for a walk in the morning, it's taking your life in your own hands. There's hardly ever sidewalks.
And Hampton Inn is nice about meeting my basic needs. But when I'm in the house, if I can't walk to get food or a Diet Coke or a playground, I do not consider that a livable place.
It has to have certain things to feel like you can just be comfortable.
Humans are there. Yeah. It was a choice when the car industry got bigger. They thought about making suburbs in the 40s and 50s with bodegas like here, where you can at least get your basic needs without a car. And it was a choice to not do it, to sell more cars.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
So neighborhoods, not like a little town where you just live close enough to the main street, but suburbs were built to require cars. That was the choice.
Where a good friend of mine lives in Stillwater. That's like the area where she is. It's a newer area of houses that people want to walk, nice sidewalks and paths. I'm like, oh, well, I could live in the city if it was like this. So
it's also, it's better psychologically. People live quite a bit longer. People are less depressed. I'm on a soapbox. I'm sorry. I've just spent like bazillions of miles in the car, and I'm thankful for it. And also reminded why I don't ever want to live somewhere where I'm dependent on it.
Yeah. So you made lots of good connections at the gathering.
They did such a good job of mixing people with similar people.
Yeah. I saw that one reel you made. Help you find connections right away.
And I have not experienced that since Sorority Rush. Nobody does it as well as a sorority. And she actually is an advisor to her sorority that she was in college.
Yeah.
Lots of people have name tags, and lots of people have live music. Lots of people think to put the food all the way on the other side so people move in.
Yeah.
The key that sororities do, and that was happening at this meeting, was that there were people who had worked there or were more regulars that knew who was similar to who.
Yeah.
And were like, oh, I'd love you to meet them. She's thinking of being a nomad. She just downsized to a tiny home and wants to travel. You should meet. Constant moving people around, making sure they met similar people. So you couldn't be a wallflower if you wanted to. And then at the meeting proper, mostly you're sitting at tables, listening to speakers, and there was such a variety, the way the speakers presented even. So you're not just, here's another person at the podium. It was like all over the place in such a good way. But when it was time for lunch, super healthy lunch, and they said, we have placed you across the table from somebody very similar to you, and here's a little card of discussion questions if you need it. But the person across from you is someone who think you need to know.
Yeah, it's very thoughtful.
And it actually helps the introverts in that you don't need to find who to have lunch with. It's one person.
How many people did you say were there?
40 or 50.
Okay.
And the swag bag was amazing. And they had charging stations for phones and different areas to take Instagram photos. I'm glad I went.
Well worth your time.
Yeah. And you know what she said that affects us?
What?
They used to always say, up until 2025, go online, just show up. You'll build a following eventually. Use the hashtags, grow organically. And they're like, it's not possible anymore. It made me feel better.
I believe that's true. So did they have other thoughts about what to do?
She did say personal newsletters are working. And what I was sensing, she's seeing in data, go where people are.
Yeah.
Build up your business with people you know, people you can reach out to, get it really solid, and then do PR. She's also seeing lots of people want to build a brand before they really have anything to sell, and that since you have to pay now to build a brand, don't do it.
Yeah, it does shift all the time. I've been sensing for a while
that just showing up doesn't work.
Yeah, there's something about that. It's like talking into the void because so many people are saying stuff.
It's also the algorithms are showing more ads than ever, and less people are online.
Yeah, showing up to your community.
Or reaching out with a newsletter and email to actual people who have asked for it.
Gosh, it's just a different way to think about it, but it's actually a relief because when you try to put a lot of energy into social media and there's so little return, it's just,
Yes. So she said keep doing it, but not to get sales.
Yeah.
Because when someone does interact with you, they will immediately go to your Instagram and there needs to be a recent post.
Yeah.
What else? I was just so talking about this trip.
Let's see. I'm looking. I was going to tell you, but I needed to check on the pronunciation because I've been invited to a raclette.
Oh, I love that. I have a friend who does those every time I'm in Minneapolis.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to that tonight, so that'll be fun. I've never been to one before.
How did you get invited?
Just some people from my church. So tonight I have the raclette.
Yep.
And then tomorrow I have yoga first thing. And then I'm going to a brunch.
Okay.
And it's prom. So there's prom pictures. And tomorrow.
How did that all shake out?
Oh, it's good. Yeah. Jesse is going with a girl he really likes. Her dress is like this pretty, it's a pink. And so he's wearing his black suit, black shirt with a pink tie and a pink pocket square.
Yeah.
He'll look very handsome.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, he's got grad Sunday at the church where my boys and I are still members, even though it's not.
You're not serving.
Yeah, but we'll go there for grad Sunday. He's probably just going to literally be up all night.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, things end so early in your part of the world.
Graduation is May 23rd. He's almost done. And then on Sunday afternoon, a girl from my church and a friend of Jesse's has a recital. So we're going to go to that. So that's about all my news right now.
Okay.
The weather's finally getting nice here in Minnesota.
Yes. We didn't even bring coats on this road trip.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had hoodies.
Yeah.
I also, while I was away, I was also test marketing homeschooling and world schooling. And one random guy in the lobby of the musical, because she didn't make it through the whole thing in the dinner theater, and we were in the lobby watching the live feed. And one guy came out to use the bathroom and he was talking to us. And then he's like, well, so you're going to homeschool. And I think he was just a really conservative Christian checking in. But also of all the things to bring up.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to even go so far as world schooling. There's so many ways to design a life.
Yes.
I'm right at the beginning where I get to set her on a path and then she'll have some opinions later.
Yeah.
How fun to think through all the different ways to learn about the world.
Right. Yeah. Oh, Lucy, it's so nice to see you.
She's just wanting lots of physical contact after this whole inhumane car seat. When she's not wanting to get in, I'm like, I know, I agree, but somebody else made up this rule. And we have to follow it.
Yeah. She's out of that silly car now.
Hopefully for a month or two.
Yeah. Jesse just got home. Oh, no. Is she very
Lucy,
weakly?
are you done? No. Let's get going.
No.
Let's tally ho. I read about if you're always rushing your child, they get anxiety.
Oh, no.
So now I'm always this morning at the Hampton Inn, I'm trying to be calm about her eating an apple, the slowest ever in the history of humanity.
Yeah. This is the slowest person ever eat an apple ever.
Okay, so can we have her finish the popsicle before we get into ConseCrate? Tell me what else is your life?
With the political climate the way it is, in some ways, looking at doing an interim in Canada feels
a nice move.
It could be really good if everything goes to pot. Then my boys would have a place to come to.
We'll be showing up as well.
Yeah, you come to. I don't know. I don't know how much to be worried about the tariffs and the prices of food. I have honestly been buying a little extra just to have around. Yeah, and a little extra flour. I keep feeling like I'm channeling my grandmother in the Great Depression.
Yes. What could I stretch?
Yeah. What did grandma need? What would grandma have done?
Or just things that keep pasta.
Yeah, dry goods. I cleared out a whole cupboard that kind of just had plastic bags and stuff. And I'm just putting canned goods and stuff. And I don't know.
Like the Mormons.
Yeah. Do the Mormons stock up?
They do.
Yeah.
And then 1 month a year, they eat the things that are going to expire.
So the Mormons are prepared for this presidency.
They are.
Yeah. I think There must have been, I don't know my history enough, but I remember when I was a kid, at one point, my parents doing something like that, storing up a whole bunch of canned goods. And there must have been something that scared them about what was happening in the world.
Well, no harm done. You'll just eat them.
We'll just use it. I'm only getting things, like pasta and rice and things that we'll use, beans.
If there starts to not be supply chain, someone will figure something out.
Right.
We will not. I guess I have too much belief in regular people just making things work.
Yeah, it's just interesting times. And I don't want to be like doom forecaster at all, but I do want to have a little bit stored away so I can feed my babies. And so anyway.
So tell me about ConseCrate.
Yeah.
What's a good way to start? Those of you watching on YouTube can see I'm sitting at the kitchen table because we just got our subscription box of toddler craft supplies that we're super excited about. Tell us about yours. I think regular listeners are aware of it.
Yeah.
We've never heard. What is it, first of all?
Okay. So ConseCrate is a subscription box for ministers. And 98% of my subscribers are women, but I do have some men too. And we love all of our subscribers. But every month there's about 4 different things. And I curate the items from ministers and other small businesses who make things. And I try to have it be a balance of things that are inspiring and useful and just might give a minister a laugh. So it's just a bright spot in the day for a minister to receive it in the mail. And I try to have it geared toward the church season too.
This is creative, job adjacent, clever thing.
There are useful things too, but fun things. And last month we did, because you and I have been talking so much about creativity being good for a person's state of mind. And so last month it was a box where I sent paints and some postcards and some information about why art is good for your mental stability and encourage people to draw something and make something. Sometimes it's different like that too. It'll have an actual task that they are encouraged to do with the items. And so that was fun. I got some good comments about that.
So you're supporting ministers. You're also supporting local artists by including their things in the box.
Yes, local, but then also people from all around, especially ministers who make things. We've interviewed quite a few of them. Lisa Kaufer and her pottery, and Diane Harpster and her art, and Chris Dinas, the beekeeper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Trey Everett. He's had a couple of decks that put in there.
For spiritual
there's
direction.
been a lot of cool things. And book by Don Troutman.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
John Stevens, he's had a book in there, and coffee. So I feel so lucky that I've gotten to know people who make things all around the country and contributed items. Even from England, we had a woman who made clergy collars, really. And so she made these beautiful, sparkly clergy collars and try to include information about the small businesses too. So if people want more of what included in the box, they can reach out to the business owner themselves and get it.
One of my favorites, it's like a sticker that is beautiful and says shattering the stained glass ceiling. And that's the type of thing, it's right in the bullseye of your predominantly female audience of ministers who still deal with these questions about where's the real pastor, because it's got to be a man, or they're shattering the stained glass ceiling.
It's been fun. One of my favorites, I had a nail polish made. I had it manufactured for me. And the label, it was Reformation Red.
Nice.
Nail polish. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of thing. That was really the impetus behind it. Was women in ministry haven't had a lot of things made specifically for them. And so I really wanted them to be getting something that they feel like this was made with you in mind by someone who understands what it's like to be a woman in ministry. And I've met so many cool people through it. And just little things, one of the most popular things was a magnet that I made, and it just says it's in the bulletin. It's been in the bulletin for weeks.
Yeah, and everyone has had that conversation.
Yeah. I have magnets and cups with that, and I can't tell you how many people give that to their church secretary or
as like a Secretary's Day gift or executive assistant gift.
It's been a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot over the years.
Why does a full-time ordained person need a side hustle?
Oh, that's a good question. For me, it was really twofold because just practically at the time when I started it, I was still finishing paying off student loan debt. I was sick of it,
Yeah.
It was just so many of us have trouble making ends meet when you want to be able to take your kids on vacation, but you also have debt you're trying to pay off. And I was just like, oh, I want to earn a little extra money. At the time, I had been feeling really stagnant in ministry too, and just needing a new challenge. And I needed to learn something new. And so I kept looking at different side hustles, and it was really fun to learn the process of launching a business. And I knew nothing about it before. So now I'm in a position where I don't the debt was paid off, and I'm thankful for that. So it's now as my kids grow, the business evolves and things. But it's my favorite thing about ConseCrate is that it's something that I made all by myself. It didn't exist before I made it, and now it exists in the world. And like every church I've served, they existed for a long time before I ever came, and they'll exist long after I die. But that came from me, so I'm thankful for that.
And then connected you into so many wonderful people.
Yeah, so many. In some ways, it connected you and I closer too.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember long before ConseCrate having conversations with you because I was feeling that stirring of wanting to make things or do something, and you helped me think through that. And then when it started, we connected because I wanted you to put information about your business in the box. You did in the very first box.
I think
you did.
I'm an OG supporter.
You made like an Advent, something for Advent. Yeah, about your Advent program. Thank you for being supportive from the very start.
How much of creativity is discipline and how much is inspiration?
What a good question.
I think I got it from Ruth.
I had to try a whole lot of different side hustles before I found one that didn't go anywhere. So I had to have the discipline to keep trying different things because I could have easily just thought, oh,
I'm not a business person.
I'm not a business person. It's not in the cards. So it took a lot of discipline, but now it takes a lot of creativity to keep coming up with different things. And I don't know, in addition to creativity and discipline, to ask for help too, because a lot of times other people have fresh ideas of things. I don't always have to be thinking of things. Like I've had some different artists take over the box for the month and they design all of it. And that's been really a fresh take on things too.
So you're saying at the beginning you needed discipline, and then once it got rolling, you needed creativity.
Yes. And it keeps evolving. Like you and I were talking earlier, the thing that worked maybe a while ago, it's not always what you need.
Business is so ever evolving.
It is. Yeah. And as you change and evolve, what you need out of the business changes. And the partnerships that we've built, like with Sunlight Tours to do the trip, and it's been fun to see those things come out of it as well.
When do you do this kind of thing? Are you creative at certain kinds of day? Do you need to play music? What is the situation surrounding your creativity?
I listen to podcasts when we're packing the boxes, and that's very fun. When I'm thinking about the things that are going to go in the box, I need it totally quiet so that I can concentrate and think about what goes, what would go with what. And I need it quiet for the thinking part, but then for the actual assembling thing, I need stimulation.
When it's repetitive tasks, we're not thinking in the same way. So you want other intellectual stimulation.
There's a lot of shows that I half watch while I'm assembling things.
This is a thing. Yeah. Shows are written to be half watched now.
Right now, I have several retired ladies who like to come over and help to assemble things. So that's been fun too.
I've wondered that about this craft box. Like right now, this is all colored. What are these called? Popsicle stick.
Popsicle sticks.
But you get 20 crafts specifically for 2-year-olds. So someone's packing all these.
Yeah, because in order for everything in a subscription box to feel special, you can't just throw it all in a box. It's to be packaged nicely too. Yeah. And you want it to have the box feel pleasantly full too. Yeah. If the stuff is smaller, sometimes you have to put tissue paper in there to poof it up a little bit.
Tricks of the trade.
It takes a village.
I love that you have some ladies coming over to pack.
Yes, because my boys used to help, but now they're bigger and
busier.
Yeah. And so Now I have some really nice retired ladies that come and help. And it's been a really good thing now that I've been doing it for 4.5 years.
Wow. And yet it feels so established, like it's been around more than 4.5 years.
Yeah. It was during 2020 that I was dreaming about it. And then it was the summer of 2020 that I put the idea out there and got a really good response. And then I just thought, you know what? I'm
Try it.
just going to give it a try and see what happens. And I think I told you this before. There was a podcast that I followed that told me how to put together a subscription box. And I just followed everything they said step by step. Pre-orders.
You take pre-orders so you have the seed money.
Yeah.
Mel Robbins said this, and let them. Whatever we're trying to do, someone has done it.
Yes.
Everything anyone's trying to do, there is a map. Maybe you have to cobble together 3 maps because you're doing a new combo, but someone can tell you how to get started on nearly anything.
And then it was cool because a few years later, there was someone else who she wanted to put together. It was a different kind of subscription box for ministers, but it was asking me for ideas about how to start. You don't realize how much you've learned until you're describing to someone else what to do. And I'm like, oh yeah.
I guess I do know things.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, is a podcast for everything. If you want to learn how to do something, just find the podcast about it.
What are we the podcast for?
We are the podcast to give inspiration to anyone who has a creative endeavor that they want to work on. I mean, so many inspiring people on, haven't we?
And I have a spiritual spin to it.
Yeah, people who are out there doing it.
Yep. Creativity fits into their life in a variety of ways. It's almost, if you don't make creativity your job, it doesn't matter, or it has to be only a hobby. And we're like, nope, we're in the whole spectrum.
Mm-hmm. When I think of over the course of all the episodes we've recorded, all the wealth of things that all those people have made, from quilts to fabrics to books and art.
And so if you want to meet some of those people, join our Patreon.
Yes, you'll get to spend some time with other people who it's important to be creating, and you'll get some inspiration, and we all need that.
So, because it's coming right up, May 15, if you're listening in real time, May 15, we're going to gather and have our first creative container, and perhaps some guests will be there. We can't give anything away, but you'll be there.
Yep, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. This is something a lot of people are needing right now, to be able to be connected with other creative people.
And prioritize it.
Prioritize it.
All you do is join the Patreon, and then people who belong at either the $10 or $20 level will get a link and be able to join our first created container. And you could maybe set the tone for all of them because it's the first one, May 15th.
There really is something about that aspect of community and working on something and feeling like it's not just you that cares about what you're making, that other people care too.
Yes.
Paul Luter and I, we had been talking about, we had this idea for a book that we thought we wanted to work on together. And we've been talking, we have this fuzzy idea, and we're like, how about we both just start writing? And, and then we compare notes, and so we had this mutual writing task that we came up with. I know he's writing and I know I'm writing, and then we're going to put it together and see, what is this that we're making?
Wow.
What are the common threads?
And so, who else you might want?
Exactly. It's just fun knowing, okay, he's working on it, and so I've got to be working on it too.
The accountability.
Yeah, right.
And the creative container will be real-time accountability in that the Zoom camera will be on, but the audio is off.
I know, maybe I can get Paul to be part of it. Yeah, or the merrier. Like, we want everybody to come and join.
Let's break Zoom. Let's have
Let's break Zoom. That should be a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Let's break Zoom. Creative container.
So how do you see creativity and spirituality connect?
Thank you for asking. I guess I'm on the same page as a lot of our guests have been, where I feel like it's the same thing. I feel like I get to be part of God's work on this earth when I'm helping to put things out into the world too. Like my spiritual director always says, when things are life-giving, that's when you can tell it's the Spirit at work. And so when I'm making things and I feel like it's something that I can share with the world, it just feels like I'm letting the Spirit work. And that makes me happy.
It's of God when it's life-giving. That's so good.
Yeah. When the fruit of the Spirit, when you're feeling those things, when you're making something, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, all those things. Like
gentleness, self-control.
Yeah. To me, it feels like it's one and the same. Creativity and spirituality, they are the same thing in so many ways.
Is there spirituality without creativity?
That's a hard question, Dawn.
Like a holy day of obligation.
The holy day of obligation.
Because creativity can be inspiration and discipline.
Yeah. Where I sense it the most is in creativity.
When you are creating.
That's when I feel most alive spiritually.
I think a lot of people expect spirituality to be on the inspiration end, not on the discipline end.
Yeah, the discipline part is very important for conversation.
Going down a road.
That is important. We can't just have congregations that are only feeling moved by the Spirit every Sunday, not willing to be there when we have to realize that it's part of our discipline. It's like a marriage. You don't just expect it to be happy all the time. You expect to work too. So yeah. So creativity is discipline, but it's also inspiration.
And those are both part of spirituality. If people want to check out the ConseCrate, how do they do that? ConseCrate.cratejoy.com is where people can subscribe. Look under this episode description. Yes, we'll put a link below. We are able to take some new subscribers right now. And please follow on Instagram. It's ConseCrate Box on Instagram. And yeah, so I tried to feature different creators on there. I haven't been as disciplined about posting lately, but yeah. We're back to that. The discipline of posting and whether it even matters. But thank you for letting me talk a little bit about ConseCrate. It's fun to share it. It's been a big part of my life for the last 4.5 years now. How would someone know they're gonna love it? When I set out to do it, I kept picturing like that pastor that has been sent far away from family and friends and could just use a lighthearted boost each month arriving in her mailbox. That's really what I pictured, is just someone that for a few months even could just use a little boost. If her family wanted to send it to her, or if she wanted to send it to herself and just be like, there's other people that get me and this weird job that I do, crazy calling that I have. I think that it can be a great way to give yourself a gift, or for a church to give it to their pastor, or for family members to share it with their loved one who is just ordained or who is having a rough patch in their ministry, or just to let them know that you're thinking of them, because you can send a gift note with it, and the gift note comes with it each month too. Those are the ones I really like to send out. Yeah, especially people new in ministry. Love it. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for asking about ConseCrate, Dawn, and thank you for being such a wonderful co-host. Thank you. This would not have happened. I mean, ConseCrate, really, this podcast would not be. It would not be. I know. It's weird to think about all the threads of connection that, came into place so that we would decide, we need to start a podcast. And thank you for all the coaching that you give to other people that I get to learn from vicariously as I sit here and listen to you coach other people. And thank you for bringing such good people. But if anyone has ideas. Yeah. Or if you think you would be a great guest and would like to be on the program, let us know. Yeah. Reach out. It's exciting. Here we are at, I think, 76 episodes, and it's exciting. Just like the trombones, 76. Yeah. So thank you for joining us for Created Creative. We're so glad that you could be with us, and please join our Patreon. And if you haven't already, follow us on social media. We're so glad that you're here. Go create something. Go create something.